coming out to the Hudson Library tonight? Does everybody have a handout and a program evaluation? If you don't, raise your hand. Okay, well, good. The program evaluations, thank you in advance for filling it out. It really helps us offer you what you want to see. And we also have a survey at the back. If any of you use business databases through the library or would like to, it's just a quick survey asking you what you'd like to see, so that when we purchase the databases, we're able to really serve your needs. So, Stafanie Moore went around the room and introduced herself a little bit, but I want to tell you a little bit about her. We are really lucky to have her here tonight. She is a professor at Kent State University, where she teaches mostly public relations and social media strategies, but she also has a very accomplished past in the private sector in different businesses. So she's got the best of both worlds, and she is going to help us learn about something that I'm always befuddled by, search engine optimization. So thank you very much, Stafanie. How's everybody?
So she pretty much already introduced me a little bit more. Before I moved to faculty and became a professor, I actually worked on university search engine optimization. So that was around 2004, 2005, through 2008. Much search engine optimization has changed, especially with social media and mobile and voice search. So it's very hard to keep up with how quickly. So I'm trying to incorporate a lot of the latest best practices in this presentation tonight. Oh, sorry.
So I guess I have to stand back here. Can I take this off? Oh, I can't. Thank you. I feel like I can project, but is this better?
Expect you to say now.
Okay. Frozen? Okay, so I guess let's kick it off tonight with maybe some participation. Who can define search engine optimization for me? I feel like I'm in class, but I like to get a little bit of engagement. So anybody want to take a stab at it? Go ahead.
Well, you're optimizing your website, you're using keywords, and add a bunch of literature.
Okay, so you're optimizing your website using keywords. Anything to add? But why? To improve the visibility of your web properties or your digital assets so that you can be seen higher up on the page in the search engine results. Hopefully, more traffic, more business, more conversions, right? Hi, you get in the front row. Okay, good. Oh, wrong computer. Before I show this. All right, let's take a quick guess. Which search engine is the most popular? Are there others on your radar? What? Yes. So you can kind of see some of the latest search market share data. We always focus on Google because Google owns 67% of the search engine market. Yahoo is around 11%. And Bing is gaining a bigger share, around 18% of the search market. So we always focus on Google because Google remains the leader. Google's become a verb, and that's why most companies incorporate Google and Google's algorithms in their SEO campaigns. But it's important to note that these other search engines have their specific algorithms too. So you kind of have to be cognizant of which search engine you're trying to target. Now, I thought I would open up our discussion today with two videos. And I think this frames SEO in a very simple way. So I have two videos, one from Matt Cutts, who's an engineer at Google. Did you ever hear of him? Matt Cutts? And then another one that kind of talks about Google's knowledge graph. So this is the future of SEO. It's where we're going. So I want to play the first one for you, if all goes well, with technology. And this pretty much talks about how Google works.
Hi, my name is Matt Cutts. I'm an engineer in the quality group at Google, and I'd like to talk today about what happens when you do a web search. The first thing to understand is that when you do a Google search, you aren't actually searching the web. You're searching Google's index of the web, or at least as much of it as we can find. We do this with software programs called spiders. Spiders start by fetching a few web pages. Then they follow the links on those pages and fetch the pages they point to, and follow all the links on those pages and fetch the pages they link to, and so on, until we've indexed a pretty big chunk of the web. Many billions of pages stored across thousands of machines. Now, suppose I want to know how fast a cheetah can run. I type in my search, say cheetah running speed, and hit return. Our software searches our index to find every page that includes those search terms. In this case, there are hundreds of thousands of possible results. How does Google decide which few documents I really want? By asking questions, more than 200 of them, like, how many times does this page contain your keywords? Do the words appear in the title? In the URL? Directly adjacent? Does the page include synonyms for those words? Is this page from a quality website, or is it low quality, even spammy? What is this page's page rank? That's a formula invented by our founders, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, that rates a web page's importance by looking at how many outside links point to it and how important those links are. Finally, we combine all those factors together to produce each page's overall score and send you back your search results, about half a second after you submit your search. At Google, we take our commitment to delivering useful and impartial search results very seriously. We don't ever accept payment to add a site to our index, update it more often, or improve its ranking. Let's take a look at my search results. Each entry includes a title, a URL, and a snippet of text to help me decide whether this page is what I'm looking for. I also see links to similar pages, Google's most recent stored version of that page, and related searches that I might want to try next. And sometimes, along the right and at the top, I'll see ads. We take our advertising business very seriously as well, both our commitment to deliver the best possible audience for advertisers and to strive to only show ads that you really want to see. We're very careful to distinguish your ads from regular search results. And we won't show you any ads at all if we can't find any that we think will help you find the information you're looking for. Which in this case, the cheetah's top running speed is more than 60 miles an hour. Thanks for watching. I hope this made Google a little bit more understandable.
Any big takeaways from that? Synonyms? Links? Did you know that Google searches are not necessarily of the live pages? It actually caches a copy of the page, puts it in its database. So that's something to keep in mind too. It actually takes a picture, a snapshot of your website, and then stores the cached version in its database. So then that way it serves up those cached images. So that's kind of helpful to know. Yes, cached, as in just a picture. Okay, here's another video that I want to check out.
Google's Knowledge Graph is our technology that helps search understand the world the way Google's Knowledge Graph is our technology that helps search and things that make it up. Good morning, everybody. It helps us improve search by putting quick information.
You'll have to bear with me here. I don't use a PC. I use a Mac, and it's going to be obvious. Plus, I've got all these buttons to push here. Okay, so hold on.
Google Google's Knowledge Graph is our technology that helps search understand the world. Google's Knowledge Graph is our technology that helps search understand things that make it up. You and I do. It helps us improve search places and things that make information right at your fingertips. It helps us improve and helping you explore quick information right at your fingertips. People ask questions in many different ways, and your questions aren't always just about a single topic.
Sorry.
Hit escape and go to the page.
I did.
Okay, there you go.
Google's Knowledge Graph is our technology that helps search understand the world the way you and I do, through the people, places, and things that make it up. It helps us improve search by putting quick information right at your fingertips and helping you explore a topic. But people ask questions in many different ways, and your questions aren't always just about a single topic. Sometimes the answer you're looking for might be a list or a collection of things. Now, we've tapped into the Knowledge Graph to get you answers to these types of questions too, with a carousel of information along the top of your results. For example, if you're visiting New York, you might want to know what museums you should check out. The search results have many sites with information about individual museums. Now we've transformed your results page with a visual, browsable list of the museums of New York. You can browse all types of collections like works of art, female politicians, islands of Greece, bridges in Spain, moons of Saturn, and thousands more. We can even help you find collections based on what the web is talking about, like famous jazz composers or best hard rock albums. With the carousel powered by the Knowledge Graph, you can get answers quickly, browse results, and find just what you're looking for, leaving time to do more of what you love.
All right, any takeaways from that one? Google is getting smarter. It's now about kind of creating these connections, these linkages. Google is serving up information based on our intent versus just keywords. So have you noticed when you've done a search in Google lately, the carousel that pops up? Or the rich snippets? Anybody tell me what a snippet was? Matt Cutts defined it for us. A snippet. Anybody? Go ahead. It's that text, the link, in a Google search result. So now these are rich snippets, and Google's Knowledge Graph is pulling the content from the Knowledge Graph to be able to give us more data right in our search engine results page. And if you do a search on a particular keyword or a phrase, you'll notice too that Google sometimes will keep you right on its page, and it'll serve up the answer right on the right-hand side. If you type in timer or 5-minute timer or something along those lines, I can give you the exact search term. Google will then put up a timer right at the top of the Google search results page. So again, it's kind of keeping you on its page a little bit more than sending you off to some of the websites. So that's a little bit controversial, I think, in terms of giving us traffic, because it's kind of keeping us on the Google search results page a little bit more. But regardless, it's about these connections, it's about these links, it's about the semantic web. Web 3.0, we're entering into the 3.0 realm, not Web 2.0 anymore. Anything else that you took from any of those videos? All right, so we talked a little bit about what SEO was at the beginning, and here is why. We want to optimize our websites to improve the natural or algorithmic ranking of our sites in search results. I'm not talking about the paid stuff. I'm talking about simply the natural results. And everybody knows the difference, right? When you do a keyword search, where does the paid stuff show up in Google? Either on the right-hand side or at the top. Google has kind of changed the design over the years. Sometimes they will shade it in a yellow box, kind of indicating that those are ads. And recently, I'll show you an example of a screenshot. They're a little more clear in terms of what is an ad, because they're actually labeling ads with the word ad now, probably in light of the FTC guidelines that people have to follow now with regard to full disclosure. But I'm talking about those natural results, not the paid stuff. So we want SEO because it can increase our site traffic, can increase conversions, converting our unique visitors to actually customers. SEO can reach journalists, and it helps build brand awareness and improves online credibility. So, and the higher up you appear on the page, the better the chance that you're going to be found and get that click. So here's an example of a search, because I love shoes. I did a search on women's shoes. So these are the organic, natural results. Now this was a couple months ago when I did this search, and this is an example of how things have changed just recently in the past few months. But you'll see, where are my ads? What's my first natural result? DSW, women's shoes. We'll dissect why that term is coming, or that site is coming up for that term. But let me show you an example of what it looks like now. So it's very clear as to what the ads are with that little yellow ad icon. Again, what's my first natural result? Anybody want to take a guess as to why DSW is coming up for women's shoes based on just what you can see here?
Pricing.
Nope. It has to do with keywords. No, it's beautiful. I love guesses. Just the term itself that I searched for is right here in my URL. It's in my title tag. It's in the copy or the description. So the keyword that you want to be found for has to be on your pages, right? It has to be in a visible content or in the metadata, in the code behind the scenes, right? So those are some of the reasons why DSW is ranking well. But there are many, many variables as to why a search or a site ranks well. I've got too many computers here. So there's not really one magic trick. Have any of you done SEO for your websites? So is there anything that works better for you? Maybe if you want to share? No. Okay, still the beginning stages. Blogging, beautiful, that's one of my recommendations. So if you have time to do that, that's an excellent SEO strategy. So there isn't one magic bullet. In fact, there are 200, Matt Cutts told us there are 200 different ranking factors that Google takes into consideration when it serves up your websites in search results. So there's so many different variables or factors that influence where it falls on the search engine results page or how high it comes up. So these are some things. An algorithm is really just a set of instructions, right? It's the formula that a search engine uses to rank your pages after they've taken the copy of the site for their database. Keywords, we talked about that. That's the heart of SEO. It always has been. Slowly changing, though. Now it's about intent and answering conversational speech. But still, keywords are very important. Anybody want to take a stab at what link popularity is? Link popularity is how many sites are linking to you. So, and that influences your page rank and your authority, which I have here, the site credibility or authority. So the more people that link to you, the more trusted you are, and that also has an influence with Google. That is it. That is a great question. Okay, did everybody hear that? Ooh, this is so fun. Isn't this fun? So yes, you want to have your URL on somebody else's website. Whose website? Someone in the same niche, but a credible, authoritative website that is respected and trusted. Not a link farm, not a website where you had to pay for links. Nothing spammy, nothing unethical, because that could actually get booted down in the search results. YouTube would be good. Social media is an excellent way of doing link building and kind of increasing those links to your content and to your site. So social media is huge in terms of getting those links, kind of creating awareness. What were you going to say? Exactly. Simply like the Chamber of Commerce could link to your business. Or Directories, some of the local directories. There's directories in each city that might actually link to your business. So these are all votes for your website that could potentially help you improve your SEO. Again, it's not all just about the links, but it's a good portion of it. Blogs are awesome. Google's actually cracking down with blogs a little bit, though, in terms of guest blogging, because so many people have abused going out there and blogging in other people's blogs to do guest posts, to send traffic back to their stuff, that it's been abused. So Google's getting wise, and they're cracking down on a lot of these different tactics in terms of link building and spammy links. So you have to be careful of that. But if you're doing it in a good way and providing valuable content, it's awesome. And then more people will link to your stuff. So that's a really good link building strategy. There are huge link building campaigns that we can talk a little bit more about some of the elements there, but that's kind of the goal here, is to get people to link to your stuff. And that's all that link popularity. Age is another factor. It used to be that older sites tended to potentially move up the results. And then I already talked about social media influence, and then Google Plus itself. Google and Google Plus, all of those properties on Google, it seems like they're setting themselves up pretty good for this market. But if you have a Google Plus profile or Google Places, that could also impact your SEO.
With age, are you referring to
just how long the site's been around?
content?
That too. Freshness of content. Search engines love fresh content. That's why they love blogs. But it also has to do with how old your site is and how many pages you have, the volume of your pages. So these are all different variables, 200 of them. I just kind of highlighted a few of them here just to start us off. Yes? If you have a website, ask the question again, I'm sorry.
So if I have a website where I'm saying to clients, you may want to check out the links that Is that helpful for us?
Absolutely. Anytime you can share a link, that helps SEO. So a lot of this is natural. We're doing it anyway. When we write content, we're building in those keywords naturally. It's not always about stuffing your page with keywords to go higher up in the search results, because people can read through that and they can see the spammy tactics. And then it's not valuable content. You don't want to share it if it's just a bunch of keywords. You can tell that somebody's trying to get their SEO a little higher. So it's about the good, link-worthy, shareable content. So here, I thought this is kind of a fun page. Hopefully it will work. Wish me luck. I don't know if it'll open. But this is the periodic table of SEO. And I believe I got this on Search Engine Watch or Search Engine Land. And I love this visualization of ranking factors in SEO. So you might not be able to see this. I did have another file, but it doesn't look like it's opening. But I just wanted to walk through a couple of these things, a couple of these ranking factors. So you'll see that it's broken out here into on-the-page SEO. So this is stuff that you can do on your site. These are the things that you can control. So the good quality content, and it gives it weights. It lets you know how much influence it has in terms of search engine rankings. Content is a +3, which is the highest weight based on this document. So content, good quality content, HTML, titles, the title tag, I'm going to show you that in a minute. If you're not familiar with your title tag, that has always served as the welcome mat for search engines. So if you can get some good keywords in there, in addition to your brand name, that is where to put it. The title tags, I'll show you those. The architecture of your site, making sure that it's even crawlable, and that you don't have a special file in there that's telling the robots not to even come to your site. So there's a bunch of code stuff too. So those are some of the on-page things. I showed you the URLs. Speed is even an issue, especially with Google Caffeine. You remember when all of a sudden you typed in a search result and you saw everything populate for you automatically in that search bar? Google now kind of looks at speed and how quickly your site loads. So that's another variable. And then there's off-the-page SEO. So that's the stuff where other websites are endorsing you, the trust, the links, the social media, and the reputation. So you guys can check this out and you can go visit it and kind of see the breakdown in the different weights. I just thought it was kind of a helpful visualization in terms of what the search engines take into consideration when they're ranking your content. Okay, so at the heart, as I said earlier, of our search engine optimization strategy has always been keywords. You always have to ask yourself, what are you trying to be found for? Or more importantly, what terms are people using to find you? Again, this is changing right before our eyes. However, keywords are still important and fundamental to search engine optimization. So maybe, let me ask you this in terms of keywords. Would I search at Kent State as a potential future student? Would a future student search for a term, baccalaureate degree or bachelor degree? Probably bachelor, because many of them may not be able to spell baccalaureate. But you have to think about your audience and not necessarily what you want to be found for. My boss wanted the term baccalaureate to be on our pages everywhere, and that's the term we wanted to rank for, but we're like, no, that's not how people search. So you have to think about how people search. One keyword or phrases. Keyword phrases. So multiple keywords. And now it's questions. So you have to think about the answers. What about inexpensive airline tickets? What would you actually type in? Cheap flights. I just did that the other day. Got some good ones to Atlanta. So yes, you have to think about those keywords that you want to be found for. And how do you do that? Again, going to your target audience, determining how they think of you or how they think of what you're offering, your product or service. You can actually go to your competitors' websites and see which terms they're ranking well for. And this can be very informative. So we did a search on women's shoes earlier. We can go to DSW's site and kind of determine what keywords they're trying to rank for based on their title tags, based on their description tags, based on their visible content. So that's helpful, same industry. What do you guys think? You're not supposed to? Because I was very scared of that, unless things have changed. But when I started doing SEO, originally with Kent State, our competitor was Ohio University. And if we take the competitor's keywords and even the competitor's brand name and put it into our metadata, into our description, and our pages, we could have potentially been penalized because we were being deceptive, because we are not that brand. So I was worried about that because we actually used the term in a pay-per-click campaign. You can do that in a pay-per-click campaign. You can bid on somebody's term, but not for the organic search results. You want to make sure that you're staying ethical. Yes? Yes.